forgotten how slightly overwhelming this jacket feels. But when you're scared of a big project, you break it down into small projects. Yes? What I realized is that this silver satin is perfect with this jacket. I don't know if I'm actually going to worry with the bubble neck thing that she's got going on in the movie. I think I might focus on this jacket with this silver satin. The bottom of this jacket has a problem. If you see in the movie, her jacket does not zip up and it does not bunch up with elastic. What it actually does is this. And if you can see, it like opens up and out. We're going to flip this over and we're going to start cutting the fabric right below the hemline so that we can get our scissors in and loosen that elastic. Now that we're done releasing all of the elastic from the waist piece, we start on the wrists. It only has the one seam, so we need to cut on both sides of that seam. Since my jacket has pockets and I want to try to preserve the use of them, what I'm going to do is use them as a starting point for the bottom of the jacket to fold to this piece that we clipped that goes to the bust. Now we can fold that over. We want to give this guy a little pin. And right in the middle, pin this again. I've already done this other side, so when we lay it out, it should give us the same angle. Just like that. Since for me, the neck is a little too far forward, I want to pull it back a little bit. So I'm going to fold the zippered edge over about 1.5 inches. And we'll pin it here. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to pull out these clips because they were just a place marker. And pin here. Always trying to make sure that the angles are the same. So we're going to pin this guy here. There we go. Since we've pinned the neck and we've pinned the angle piece, now we want to flip them under just slightly. Right up to there. And we're going to pin those down. We're going to do the same thing to the other side, and this is going to create a nice base for us to add the lapel and the seams along the edges. All right, our next obstacle, the sleeves. In my head, this is easy. Let's see if it's as easy. Ooh. Okay, sorry. So sorry about that, but that is what part of this channel is about, is me living with stiff person syndrome. I'm incredibly blessed that I typically don't have multiple parts of my body acting up with me all at once. It's right now the meds have got it to like, that was my arm. Maybe later today, my ribs will start to contract and spasm. But that's the life I live. All right, we're just going to keep moving on. So we have turned this jacket inside out. I'm going to put my arm through the sleeve. I'm going to keep the seam of the sleeve right here. Let's see where it would sit naturally. Let this sleeve drop. And then we're going to grab the bottom seam, bring it to the wrist where you'd like it to sit. I think I want to give a little bit of give right there. And since it's elastic, you can just pull it out and clip it right down. Now we can make the other sleeve match. Because that's a great thing about symmetrical objects. Voila! I have put the other sleeve back on so that we can taper this to my actual arm. I have the sleeve piece sitting where it should. Now, I don't need to taper this exactly. This isn't me tailoring this jacket to my arm. I'm taking the smallest part, which is my wrist. We're going to follow this down to the largest part of my forearm. Okay? Since this, again, is elastic, we can slide it out and throw a pin right here. All right? Now we're going to do that again. Ooh, that's going to look very nice. I think that the only thing we need to do is actually now make this pin match the armpit. Now that I have this all laid out and I'm using my yardstick, from the armpit to where I want it to sit on the wrist, if you can see how very small of a space it actually is to where I've made that pin, I think it's more trouble than it's worth to even taper it there. I think that we should use where we are on the wrists and run one seam all the way to the armpit, and I think that's going to be our perfect taper. pen. A pink pen. Breaking all the rules. All the rules. Look at them being broken. And of course, we do the other one to match, my dear. The other one to match. The part of this that is going to take the most time is going to be to, in these, so I'm going to start with the edge of the sleeve, and I'm going to move my pen down to about here. Feeling really good about these sleeves. Feeling really good about them. Probably shouldn't say that out loud yet. Look at these sleeves, guys. This is great. Look at that movement, and that looks so nice. And we've got a great line going here. Now we just have to fiddle around with the neck a little bit more. Going well.